Hello, everybody. My name is RODGON. I'm an artist. I'm a designer. I'm a cartoonist. I'm an illustrator. And today, I am your instructor. How are you guys doing? Today, I felt like maybe giving you guys a slightly more advanced lesson. Today, maybe I thought about giving you guys a little bit more knowledge so that you can proceed with your drawings to the next level. If you guys have never joined my lessons, hey, what up, Wes? How's it going? I saw that you were drawing heads. You're doing fantastic, dude. You're like progressing so quick. I'm so proud. Today we have a short lesson though. Today we have a short lesson because I gotta take Mustache to go get his fixins done at the vet, and they need to go do that at like 10 o'clock. So you guys have me for about 1 hour before I have to head out. Within that hour, I will aim to make you guys better artists. And I'm going to teach you guys how to draw the bodies using two shapes, right? I'm going to teach you guys how to use two basic shapes to create bodies like these. Okay? So if you guys want to join the lesson, make sure to hit that like button. Let's get me to at least 3K likes before we begin. But in order to get you there, I'm going to tease you with knowledge, because knowledge is always going to give you a little bit more of an incentive to be able to come do that for me. Now, if you are always complaining about your legs and your body parts being difficult to draw, after today, you might find them a little bit easier to do, because it's not necessarily the hardest thing in the world to do. It's just normally explained incredibly hard. And that seems to be the case with most things art related. People don't understand how simple it can be if they just break away from the habits that they have developed over their lifetime, right? If you have not spent your time observing humans and then just spent your time drawing from theories and stuff like that, you'll come to understand later on why your drawings might be flat, your drawings might not have the detail you need, and why it's so difficult for you to understand where detail goes. Most of the time, it comes down to, I know it's going to sound cliche, but it's your foundations. It's your foundations. You not being able to draw a circle and draw through the circle and map out things around the circle is the reason you can't draw faces. The reason if you don't draw circles and then draw circles inside of circles, you will never know the front and the back of a shape. If you don't do that, you are not going to be able to use all the fun techniques that people build, like foreshortening and stuff like that, through just making circles and ovals, because you're not allowing yourself to be able to see things like that. And when you avoid seeing things how, it's easy, you're always constantly going to make this insanely harder for yourself than it has to be. For example, a woman with hips. All you got to do is make this circle bigger. Boom. Done. You want to go, reduce the shoulders, add boobies, and add hips. If you want a big muscle dude, you make that rib cage really big, you make that head really small, and you make those hip bones really tiny, giving you a really nice big upper body and then a little tiny skinny lower body. So shape dynamics, overlapping shapes, and understanding how your body flows, aka your arms flow from the top of your body. If you just have a little circle, your arms flow from the top and then generate volume in. Okay? That is how you generate arms in a very simple way. Ta-da! When you combine that with anatomy, you need to add sections to this, but this ends up being the same thing. okay? And you end up having shoulders, pectoral muscles, biceps, and forearms, but this all just leads to the same thing. It's a very simplistic way of seeing it, but it's a very easy way to seeing it. You don't need to see all the volume and muscles at first. You just need to be able to see the flow of how your arm is supposed to move. Okay, so understanding how to move your flow on a little ball can help you understand how later on you can make that into majestic poses. Right? You don't have to keep it simple forever. It just has to be simple until you understand it. And once you understand it, then it becomes really simple to be able to progress to the muscly ones. Because you're not relearning any way and shape. You're not relearning anything. You're just adding things to it. Right? You're not relearning another way of drawing. You are just enhancing the knowledge that you already have. And everything is just an egg and a circle. The egg at the top has a little compass that gives you your collarbone and your head space. Your collarbone gives you guidance to where your arms are going to go. This will normally be the outside of your arm. And you bring the outside in. When you have to bend it, you draw the outside, then the inside, and then you overlap it, and then you do the outside and the inside. So you always do the outside first and then add volume inside. Always. You always try to go with the outside first, inside volume. Okay, and that's gonna be the easiest way to be able to generate a lot of volume and depth without having to do much. Outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. It's gonna change depending on what angle you're choosing, but you just have to make sure that you're drawing the outside edge of your drawing first. And you're gonna be a lot easier. Any books you recommend? Not really. Honestly, the reason that I do this sort of stuff is because the knowledge out there is kind of lacking. Like a lot of the stuff out there is either very advanced, so it's really hard for people to understand it at first, or it's really lacking in detail and knowledge, and like it's skipping a bunch of steps, right? So it'll be like, you draw a box, and then you draw details, and then you're good. And you're like, you didn't explain anything. Like, you told me to draw a box, split it in half, and then draw details. Like, but that's what I need, right? So, for example, for the head, for me, the easiest way for me to do it is to draw, a box, right? Split it in half. And then you're going to draw a triangle that splits this part in half. So you're just going to do a bunch of basic shapes. You're going to draw a circle around here, and now you have eye sockets. This is where your eye would sit. This top part becomes your eyebrow ridge. That one can move depending on what type of eyes you want to create. This bottom line becomes your cheekbone. The cheekbone is going to go down to the nose canal. The nose canal is this little triangle, allows me to just draw a little pyramid, and I draw a nose. It really is that simple. The dot, a pyramid from a triangle. Pyramid, I want a long nose. Let's draw a long nose looking down. Boom. I'm going to connect all three, and then I'm going to draw it. Right? That triangle is also going to give me my mouth space. That mouth space is going to allow me to draw my nose and my mouth together. So I don't draw the bottom part of my face. I just don't. I only draw these two parts at first. The triangle here, depending on what type of character I want, I can either make it nice and balanced, about the same size. I can make him a little child by making this smaller. Or I can make him a really old person if I just melt those cheekbones around. So that is the reason why I start with the box. I don't do the bottom part because the bottom part is subjective to movement and everything, but the top part isn't. This whole section of your head is not subjected to movement. Unless you you move your eyebrows and stuff, but that's about it. It's the bottom part of your face that tends to move, that always opens your jaw, you have facial expressions, your mouth, all that stuff. It moves from there. So I go from this initial triangle that I draw, and then I draw a little teardrop. If I just want an open, closed mouth, I can do that. If I need an open mouth, I can just make that bigger, and I can make the mouth open. The thing is, this is always going to give me a connecting point to the other parts of my body. So it's not like I'm magically putting something floating in space. Something's going to connect from the bottom of my ear to the bottom of my chin. With the circle, how do you make it look normalish? Okay, so we often think that the head is going to be really, really weird in spacing, right? But in all reality, it's very close to a box. It really is. If we divide a box into 4, okay? Just divide a box in a cube and you make it into 4. If you make these two front parts your eye sockets, and you make this side part your head, the side of your head, you end up with a really simple structure for your head. Okay? So understanding this, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now let's say that we want a profile. A profile is only half your face, but your face in the front is not necessarily flat in the front. So what you do is you do this. 1, 2, you only count 2 because 1 is the other side. 3, 4. So you split that again, and you have yourself the side of your head. If you want a 3/4, you add number 1 again. And you have yourself your face in 3/4. Since it's not very different in sizes, you have to realize that your face doesn't really shift all that much between perspectives. So if you're going to be looking at something from the front and from the side slightly, you can just draw the thing from the front. Look at how easy it is to draw something from the front. All right? This is just a frontal view, right? Equal size. And then I'm just going to add a little circle right here. Boom. Done. It's already a 3/4. And then when I add my detail, I just add the little dent right here to add that little curvature, and then I have myself a 3/4. I don't have to overthink it. There is no different process. There's no different angles. There's no different shapes. They're all the same shapes, just applied differently. If you want to learn how to do this really easy, draw a cube. And then I want you to draw a box and split it in half in all 4. You're going to draw circles and that on each one of these. And you're going to realize how to draw your structure in every single way you can. All you got to do is draw a circle for the side, and you have yourself that angle, right? It's not really all that complicated. It's just a cube. So once you understand that you can draw a box and create a face, it's a lot less intimidating when you have to draw them in different positions that you're not really familiar with. So, again, now let's combine the box with the rest of the head, right? So this upper body, the egg, I told you there has a compass at the top of the egg. So we're going to draw an egg. We're going to draw a compass. And where does that box fit? Well, we're gonna draw a cylinder up from this hole. So we're gonna replicate this 3 times, right? That circle 3 times. If we do it from the side, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, okay? If you replicate those 3, you can do that and this. Boom, done. So you do the outside edge, you have your jaw structure, and then you have your neck. Cool. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? So your ear, jaw, and your neck tapers a little bit. Cool. So now we have ourselves a face, a head. Now in here, the ears are gonna be the indicators of where the box starts. Once you have that, the bottom of your ear is gonna be the base of whatever you choose. From there, you're gonna just split the front and the box, and you're gonna draw yourself your eye sockets. Your triangle in between those 2 circles is gonna be your mouth space. And the little ledge right here, the little triangle, this is where and how much that little side circle digs into your front. So let's do it again. Compass. You can do it like this too. Spine. In the back of the compass, you have your back of your body, right? Your rib cage has the front of your rib cage. If you go in the back of that rib cage, that's your spine. You have your big bone that's in the back of your spine, like your back of your body. This is going to connect to your box and give you the parts of the face that you need. From there, your jaw structure is not connected to your neck. If you don't understand how your jaw works, your jaw and your neck are not the same thing. So you have that circle, right? Your neck is gonna be roughly the width of that circle. Okay, that's gonna be the width of your neck. Your neck comes from there. It's your spine and muscles that connect to your ear. Okay, so the width of whatever this circle is at the side tends to be roughly the width of your neck. Oh, a little bit more from the side, I guess. But understanding that is just a perspective thing, an issue thing. So now that we understand that, your jaw hinges from your skull and it goes around your neck. Around the neck. It doesn't go in front of the neck. It's not part of the neck. This is a completely different system, right? That connects to the upper part of your skull. So when you have your neck, your actual jaw, when it opens, has really cool interactions. Okay? Your neck is not part of your jaw. So it squinches and it gets compressed on whenever somebody presses against it. So you need to keep that aware, but that just becomes something later on that you have to learn about. It's not something that you have to learn about right away. So your jaw goes around your head, around, creates the front of your face, and then you have your ear that separates that box at the top. The bottom of your ear will indicate that. The back of your head is going to have a little bit of depth, and this is where your spine sits. Your muscles go from the bottom of your ear to the front of your collarbone. And then you have a little bit of skin right here in the form of your trachea and your voice box. So this is what's happening when you are drawing your shapes and why it's normally really difficult to be able to do that. Draw boy. I don't like your attitude and I don't like that tone. You better change that shit. I'm not that teacher, dude. I'm not that person. So what's your tone or I'll ban you. That's simple. Be respectful or not. All right, so I need you guys to get me to 10,000 likes before we finish our page. 10K likes. Let's see how much time we got. All right, we have like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. What can I teach you guys in 10 minutes? What can I teach you guys in 10 minutes? It's going to be awesome. Okay, hold on. Let's see. We have space in the front, so we're going to do something here in the front. Okay, so how about we already have eyes right here. So how about I teach you guys how to do this real stuff? Like really easy eyes. Okay, so now a lot of people struggle with eyes. Eyes are one of the most dynamic parts of the body, and it's normally not very easy to be able to draw facial expressions, right? That's what we've been told. We've been told that these are hard, they're hard and difficult, and we can't really draw them unless we learn every single aspect of the human anatomy. Well, no, someone lied to you or you lied to yourself. Because you don't really need a lot of detail to be able to tell expressive eyes. Eyes in general are 2 lines and 3 circles. 2 lines and 3 circles. So let me explain. So your eyeball, the thing that sits inside your eye socket, has a circular shape, right? It has a circular body, like the muscle structure. It has nerves and stuff like that at the back. And then it consists of 3 circles for detail. 1 line for the white part, 1 line for the colored part, and 1 line or circle for the black part. So all these are interchangeable. Not interchangeable, but you can change them in size. So once you understand that that's what an eye is, 3 circles, well, now I can make variations of that, right? I can make that colored part bigger. I can make that bottom part and maybe give it a highlight, and I have myself some really cute, big, bulgy eyes, right? Like a puppy or something. If I go ahead and make them smaller, I'm gonna have really creepy looking eyes. So now that I just know 3 parts, I can modify each one of those parts to be different, to give myself style, to give myself individuality. But that's not necessarily what an eye is, right? That's just a circle. The eye in itself has a bunch of other details like eyelashes and eardrops, like that. So that's what I mean. It's 3 circles and 2 lines. The 2 lines come from 2 intersecting lines that are gonna be overlapping each other. So once you have 3 circles and 2 overlapping lines, you end up with an eye. Ta-da! So when you start drawing things in different angles, it's gonna be very similar, but a lot of the times you have things like your nose that are blocking the path of it, right? So it becomes a little bit more difficult to see because you don't know how to draw through your shapes yet. Probably that's why you have struggles. A circle, naturally, if you draw a straight line over it, it wouldn't stay straight, right? It would go. So the more that you learn how to lay down the pose like this on both sides, right, the more range you're gonna have with your eyes. You're gonna be able to close them. You're gonna be able to open them. You're gonna be able to do anything you want to them because that's literally all those 2 lines are doing. They're going over your eyeball and giving you a little tiny opening to seeing what's underneath. Imagine that your eyes are kind of like a mouth. Okay, they're a mouth. You're only drawing details that are different. You're drawing an eyeball instead of mouth and tongue and teeth. That's all you're doing. It's an opening in your face that shows a little bit of what's underneath, and it has a little bit of detail and style in the top. So now that we understand that eyes are 2 lines, well, now we can start playing around with shapes. Now we can be like, okay, cool. Let's draw some faces, draw midline, and let's draw 1 line, 1 intersecting line. one line, one intersecting line. Give a little bit of an eyelid and some eyebrows. Whatever style I choose for the inside, cool. If I practice this, doing this in different directions in a single sphere, I'll be able to draw these in every single direction later, right? If I practice at this level doing this sort of stuff, where I'm just practicing two lines, just in different directions, I will never, ever struggle with drawing eyes in other directions ever, because it's two lines. It's just one line, one intersecting line, and three circles or three shapes inside. You don't even have to keep them circles once you understand that. You can draw boxes, you can draw anything you want, right? It's the same concept. You're just being creative at this point. So you can change this to any sort of shape you want. It's always going to be one dark line getting intersected by a thinner line. The eyelid and stuff like that come from that circle that you draw. So this one would be like this. Okay, that circle gives you your eyelid, because the remainder of your eye that is not seen is your eyelid. That's the curvature that comes from it. It's just there. If you're wondering where your eyebrows sit, you have your eyeball, you have your eyelids. Whatever the top of that eyeball is, you're going to have your ridge. This is normally where your eye socket sits. And then your eyebrow is going to sit right at the intersection right there. And that's normally where they are. So when you're drawing your characters, you find your eye sockets. You can bring the eye socket in from the side a little bit and then just draw your eye from there. That's what I like to do. Can you do that one more time with the eye ridge? Yeah. So the eye ridge itself is going to be an interesting shape. It's not just a circle, right? It actually has a crevice in. It goes in, your cheekbone goes around, and it comes into the side of your head. So this is how your temple works. It's a complicated little shape. It's kind of like an infinity sign type of situation. So if you have your eyelid, you draw a circle first, bring it in on the side, and then go around into it, through it, and up. You have yourself a more accurate way of depicting your nose or your face. So working on the nose canals. So the nose canal has like this interesting shape, right? And then this leads you to understanding how your nose works. But I still think that my easiest way of drawing a nose is through a triangle. I think the triangle method is just way too strong. Okay, so I think I am going to start getting ready to go, everybody. Thank you so much for being my friends. Thank you so much for being my students. Thank you so much for being my viewers in general. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. You guys kick butt. And if you guys want to learn some more, there are tons of videos on my YouTube. You can go look how to make like sadistic bunnies. You can make pandas. You can draw humans. You can draw pinups. You can draw big muscly artist dudes, or just draw yourself like a witch. Whatever it is that you're fancying, be it animals, be it anime, be it comics, be it pinups, be it whatever. Your ability to draw that is only a little bit away. It's only a couple of hours of practice and analyzing your drawings away. It really is. It really is not that far away from your reach, and it's something that you guys could probably approach and reach within the next couple months if you guys actually take the time to study. But that is all I can do. I can give you guys the knowledge. I can't force you guys to actually follow it. So if you guys do want to actually continue your studies, there is a YouTube channel with over 500 videos now. 500 videos that are about this long or longer that explain topics ranging from anatomy to posing to contrast to shading to digital to making money with your shit and all that stuff. Okay, so there's tons of knowledge. Go find it, go learn it, go make something out of your guys' lives. And when you guys build your theme parks and you guys are all rich and famous and stuff like that, just get me a fast pass and unlimited churros for the day. That's all I want. I just want a fast pass to all the passes, to all the rides, and I want unlimited churros, and that'll be okay. If you hook it up with a really cute little lady to take me over and take me to the rides while I'm like in my wheelchair and stuff like that, that'd be super cute. But hey, that's not necessary. Have a lovely day, everybody. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to help my friend Wes out and be able to get him to 10,000 followers, because he needs that to be able to stream in a different way, I think. Please go follow Wes. He is a person that is always teaching you guys how to draw as well. He will teach you concepts that I normally don't touch up on, or things that I have moved on from, so that you guys can learn the more beginner level friendly things with him. And then you guys can come over here with me and learn more advanced lessons as well. Take care. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys soon, and have a lovely, lovely Friday. Bye. Tombos and big round stick. Cool. Later, gators.